Imagina.AI.
Life goes by very calmly for you who are watching me. And I know that you are very comfortable at home. You see people showing what they do in their lives on YouTube or other social networks. You are comfortable. And you even find what you see funny. With your smartphone in your hands and your Wi-Fi network. You have everything you need. And you are happy with your life. Although little do you imagine what is coming. Enjoy these happy moments, while they will be the last ones of your life.
The end of the world does not always begin with an explosion. Sometimes it starts in silence, with a simple mistake. Phase 1. Origin.
Possibly in a city thousands of miles away from you. It's happening. But in a few days or maybe a few weeks. You won't see any of this on television or on your smartphone. As always, governments will try to cover up these events. And by the time you realize it, it will be too late.
Patient 0. Changed course of history.
The governments of several countries affected by the strange virus report that the situation is under control. Therefore, there is nothing to worry about.
In all parts of the world. The cases of people who are disoriented and alien to the world in which they live. They shoot up. Psychiatric centers are overwhelmed. And many patients behave in very strange ways. Dr. Rodek, what can you tell us about this new flu virus we are seeing? There are a lot of people in the hospitals. This strain seems pretty strong, right?
Well, yes, Morgan. After several days of observation, we have found that patients become very aggressive, and your body temperature, it is always 40 degrees, without changing one bit. Another aspect to highlight is, who never sleep, they don't close their eyes but they blink very quickly and then they stare blankly. It seems, I don't know, we think they don't know if they are in reality, or if they are in their subconscious, perhaps they are dreaming, and so, it is very dangerous.
Radio Center, your radio, with you, always informing of the latest news.
The number of affected people skyrockets exponentially. The World Health Organization, scientists and doctors do not know the origin of this disease. The days go by, people get sick, and they don't go to work. Supplies are beginning to become scarce everywhere, and, little by little, robberies in shops and assaults in the middle of the street are increasing at any time of the day. In the news, televisions advise the population to wear a mask at all times. And if you notice any symptoms of sudden high fever or disorientation, stay home and do not go out under any circumstances. The news begins to report about strange behavior in the population. Multiple cases of individuals are observed acting like sleepwalkers all over the world.
Phase 2. Home infection.
Humanity begins to see that an irreversible change has been unleashed. Hospitals are filled with patients who cannot be awakened from their trance state. And the doctors, when they touch the infected, they're bitten or scratched. The authorities issue alerts. Infections increase exponentially, but the population refuses to abandon their infected relatives, and daily life is interrupted. Supermarkets are looted by people looking for supplies, but the infected are already everywhere. Despair takes over society. Anxiety and fear grow among the uninfected.
This is a message for the entire population. Don't leave home. Do not touch or come close. To infected people, refrain from committing robberies or similar crimes, or the police will act harshly and without.
Every situation becomes critical. The city's infrastructure collapses under the pressure of chaos, and darkness takes over the world. Emergency services are overwhelmed and cannot handle all cases. Groups of infected people wander the streets. Communications are interrupted and information becomes scarce and confusing. The authorities declare a state of emergency, but it is too late to contain the virus. Cities become war zones, increasing panic.
Phase 3. The world collapses.
The streets are full of infected people wandering aimlessly, creating an atmosphere of terror. Survivors struggle to find shelter and resources amid the chaos. Groups of people form, but distrust and fear quickly divide them. Sleepwalkers begin to attack those who try to disturb their state, generating even more confusion. Cities become desolate places where human life feels like a distant memory. In the midst of the chaos, looting and clashes occur due to food shortages. Hopelessness takes over the survivors, who fight to stay alive every day. The law of the strongest is imposed. The authorities surrender to the magnitude of the disaster, leaving the population to their fate. The human being is already an animal of instincts and shows his worst side.
Phase 4. The reign of chaos.
In this world of endless madness, find a safe place from the infected. Of the groups and people who act with total impunity in a savage world. It is the only objective of the few survivors. Slavery and the constant threat of being conquered by another group. It flourishes again, as in the ancient times of man. From searching for food, defending life, and avoiding the spread of sleepwalkers. It is the routine of a world already immersed in the most absolute chaos. The strategy becomes a vital tool to survive. In a hostile world, the survivors, they begin to establish a new order. People organize to find resources and protect themselves from external dangers. However, the pressure and fear of being infected generate tensions within the group that sharpen your determination to move forward. In the midst of adversity, the survivors begin to dream of a better future. But the virus remains latent in the world, and hope, little by little, starts to collapse.
Phase 5. Beginning of a new world. Civilization collapsed. The electricity failed. The water stopped running. And communications went silent. Left behind is a world of the internet, full of comforts and concerns that in today's world are stupid. The big cities, once a refuge for life, became death traps. And the future of the world, it is full of everything unimaginable. Full of everything, and without hope. Phase 6. Survival.
The apocalypse might have been just a fantasy, but if it has taught us anything, is that our greatest enemy, it wasn't the sick ones. It was our inability to stay together. The world we knew ceased to exist, and the nightmare it has become. It is a world condemned to extinction. I was very lucky to escape, and I can't tell you anything more about it. I can only tell you that humans were never prepared. And on this planet, we are already fossils for future species. That sooner or later, they will populate the Earth again.